Today we're talking about crucial financial freedom mindset and why values alone wouldn't build wealth, and how adopting clear financial principles is what truly drives long-term freedom and financial independence. Many of us have been taught that building wealth means aligning our values, prioritizing comfort over convenience, growth over gratification, and experiences over possessions. But here's what nobody tells you. Financially successful people don't organize their lives around values. They operate by principles. And that distinction, that little tweak, changes the entire outcome. Here's a common belief. Once I figure out what I value most, I'll naturally make better financial choices. But here's the truth. Values only tell you what feels good. It's the principles that tell you what actually works. A while back, I found myself in a lot of credit card debt, and I'll never forget those early paychecks. The money would hit my account and I'd feel this rush. Finally, I could breathe. Treat myself, live a little, dinner with a friend, that gadget I've been eyeing, a weekend getaway trip. I would tell myself I was practicing self-care. I was honoring my values of connection and experience. And then, 2 weeks later, I would stare at my account and wonder where it all went, feeling the familiar knot of anxiety tighten in my chest. The math was supposed to work. I valued security. I wanted freedom, but wanting didn't save a single dollar. Then I tried something that felt almost too simple to matter. I automated my savings first. Every paycheck, money moved automatically into a savings account before I could even consider spending it. The first month felt very restrictive. The second month felt different. And by the third month, something shifted. I wasn't constantly calculating or worrying or second-guessing myself. My future was already handled. What remained? That was mine to enjoy completely guilt-free. Pay your future self first, not because it feels right, but because it works. Wealthy families have understood this for generations. They build systems that remove willpower from the equation entirely. Your values might whisper, comfort matters, but principles create behavior that outlasts moments of motivation. You only have to do this once. Set up automatic transfers the day that your paycheck arrives, whether it's to a retirement account, an investment account, or to fund your emergencies. Treat them just like your rent or mortgage. They're non-negotiable. What's left after that? Spend it joyfully. The anxiety of never having enough evaporates when you know the future is already secured. This isn't just about accumulating money. It's about escaping the exhausting mental loop of, am I doing enough? Should I have saved that? What if something unpredictable happens? Principles don't just build wealth, they create a peace of mind. For years, I believed in the gospel of the grind. Work harder, take on more projects, chase that promotion, earn that raise. And yes, more income helped, but never in the transformative way that I imagined. I was running faster, but still on the same treadmill. Then, I watched a friend do something very different. He was a serial entrepreneur, but not in the hustle culture sense. He would only create systems, whether it's investments that generated returns, or side ventures that ran with little input from him day to day, or assets that produced income while he slept. He wasn't working less because he was lazy. He could work less because his money was working for him. Witnessing that in person cracked something open for me. Many of us are raised with a simple equation. Hours worked equals money earned. But that equation has a ceiling. Your time is capped. You can't work more than 24 hours in a day. And even if you could, you'd eventually break. Financially successful people think in terms of leverage, not labor. They ask, how can I build assets that compound, systems that can scale, and income streams that flow without my constant attention? Start anywhere, wherever you are, whether it's an indexed fund that grows with the markets, or a rental property that generates monthly cash flow, a small side business that you can systematize. Even micro investments today are going to compound over the decades. The goal isn't to quit your day job tomorrow. It's to gradually shift from trading time for money to building assets that generate returns. The crucial part is that this principle fundamentally changes your relationship with time. It's not about accumulating wealth for wealth's sake. It's about buying back your hours, your choices, and your ability to say no. The values tell you, I want freedom. It's the principles that show you the architecture and the blueprint for building it. Growing up and seeing my own family struggle with insurmountable credit card debt, I absorbed one message about debt. Avoid it. Fear it. Debt was the enemy of financial security, the beginning of every cautionary tale. And so I did avoid it, religiously, sometimes to my own detriment. Then I started paying attention to people who'd actually built significant wealth. I noticed that real estate investors were using mortgage leverage to acquire properties that appreciated while generating cash flow. And business owners were taking strategic loans to scale their operations faster. Those people understood something that I didn't at the time. Debt isn't inherently dangerous. Reckless debt is dangerous. Debt becomes a trap when you use it to fund consumption, lifestyle inflation, depreciating purchases, things that lose value the moment you buy them. But debt becomes a tool when it acquires assets, things that grow in value or generate income. The wealthy don't fear debt. They respect it, understand it, and use it intentionally. These days, before taking on new debt, I ask myself one clarifying question. Will this create income for me or build equity? A mortgage on a rental property? Potentially yes. A car loan for a car I'm going to drive? Probably no. A business loan to expand capacity? Maybe, only if the numbers work. The principle is simple. Debt for creation, not for consumption. Understanding this distinction transforms debt from a source of fear into a strategic option. It frees you from the paralysis of thinking you need to save every single dollar before taking action. Principles cut through the confusion. Values alone leave you stuck between I want this and I shouldn't, never quite sure which voice to trust. There are other principles that I've come to rely on. Mental frameworks that simplify decisions and reduce friction. Security comes from owning productive assets, not a single paycheck. Cash flow and time freedom are the true wealth, not just net worth alone. A home is a lifestyle choice, not an investment vehicle. Concentration builds wealth and diversification preserves it. Financial independence and retirement is a number, not an age. Liquidity and discretion often matter much more than visible displays of wealth. Build a trusted advisory ecosystem. You can't know everything by yourself. Budgeting is not about restriction, it's about direction and intention. Philanthropy should not be an afterthought. It should be strategic and meaningful to you. And legacy is about passing on mindset and stewardship, not just money and your wealth. These aren't flashy revelations. They're small shifts in thinking that compound into clearer decisions, less stress, and more alignment between what you say you want and what you actually do and what you actually get. When I look back at my own journey, the turning point wasn't discovering the perfect hierarchy of values. It wasn't finally prioritizing security over comfort or growth over gratification. The breakthrough came when I realized that values alone wouldn't get me there, but principles could. Values are important. They tell you what you care about, what brings you joy, what makes life meaningful. But they're emotional, they're subjective, and they're constantly in flux. One day you value adventure, and the next day you crave stability. They shift with your mood, your circumstances, your stage of life. Principles are different. They give you a framework for action that transcends feelings. They translate vague intentions into consistent decisions. Spend after saving. Make money work for you. Use debt strategically. These aren't restrictions, they're liberations. They let you live your values sustainably, without constant anxiety of wondering if you're making the right choices. The secret to financial freedom isn't in discovering what you value. Most of us already know what we value. The secret is in designing a financial life where every choice, every dollar, every hour flows through principles that compound towards freedom, not someday, not eventually, but in the little unglamorous accumulation of days well lived. So whether you're just starting out or you're already well down the path, stop rearranging your values and start examining what principles are actually guiding your money right now. Because mindset always comes before mechanics. Get that foundation right, and everything else, the budgets, the investments, the goals, they fall into place. And it is only then that your financial direction changes. Thank you.